Everybody be cool. You be cool.
Hot air hangs like a dead man from a white oak tree. People sitting on porches thinking how things used to be. Dark night. It's a dark night.
Hello and welcome to Let's Talk Games. I'm Fatui. So, it's been a while. Sorry about that, but when you produce this much content for not just a podcast, but a lot of other things, you get a little bit burned out. And you need to take a break, especially since I have a full-time job besides all this. Not that I'm complaining, it's just like I was getting behind of playing games and pretty much spending my time mostly making content. I was just need a little bit of a vacation of some sort, so I took it a little laid back and started playing some games that I have left on the shelves. And it was, of course, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, which I got for my moving in gift from my brother, which is a really, really good game. Spent 23 hours completing it, doing most of the side quests, giving me a 51% finish of the game's trophies, and the rest is pretty much, most of them are online trophies, multiplayer trophies. So I haven't played the multiplayer. I played the beta. It's really good, but it's just that it didn't get me. It's a great. I've heard so many great things about it, but it just really didn't get me. I think it could be fun playing with friends, but maybe THD will do Assassin's Night, maybe, and we can play on that. But who knows? A little bit about news is that, there are all kinds of. Kotaku just one of the news from Kotaku is Kotaku changed their website into crap. If you're been using their website from a PC, if you've been using the website from a browser on your phone or your iPad or any other tablet that's out there, it's probably great, because it's tablet based pretty much, and that's not really working for the PC, so it's getting a lot of hate, and I'm one of them. I really don't like the new design. It's pretty much only for portable devices, so a lot of the new features of Kotaku's website are hidden, and they don't focus that much on all the posts they make, and so it's highlighted differently. It's highlighted like you see free things. You can go to the site and check it out. It's crap, total crap in my opinion. So I've been using pretty much going on to what's it called, Joystick, Game Trailers, as I always use, and reading a little bit about that. Also some other sites. Interesting thing is that GeoHot, if you don't know who that is, it's the guy who broke the PSP or hacked the PSP. He is a little bit of financial trouble, or not, probably not, but he's fighting right now a lawsuit from Sony, which I'm a little bit of a supporter on the Sony side. Not that I don't think that GeoHot is wrong in saying that you should be able to do what you want with your toy/console, fiddling around with it. I think that's totally fine, but I do think it's wrong to post a key that can pretty much ruin the PS3 business totally because of it can be used for piracy. It opens everything up. That I'm totally against, and that's pretty much what he's sued for. Of course, all the codes and keys are taken down. His computer has been seized, but right now he has legal bills in the amount of $10,000. He has 2 lawyers. Sony has 5. Go figure. And he's asking for help from all the community people that probably support him, and he's probably going to get a lot of money for that. Trying to cover some of his bills. And Electronic Frontier Foundation has provided some of the help. And he says all the donations that he's getting should be that is going to cover his bills, and the rest, if there's anything left, is going to go to putting back, giving some of the money back to the Electronic Frontier Foundation. The EFF already gave him; they can get some of their money back. I want to quote a statement here that he's quoted on a site called TechSpot.com. I want to read it out loud here. I want the settlement terms to include other OS on all PS3s and an apology on the PlayStation blog for ever removing it. He notes. And I quote again, it'll be good PR for Sony too. Laws they could use it. I'm also willing to accept a trade and length past a legitimate path to homebrew for knowledge of how to stop the firmwares from being decrypted. He pretty much shot himself in the foot, in my opinion, with this quote here, especially the last part. He's may want to make a trade for a legit path to homebrew on any PS3, and he's going to tell them how to stop the firmware hacks in the future. To me, that's if I was a attorney, and I'm not. What I would say when I read this, I would pretty much say he's actually quoting almost, and we all know attorneys, or if some of you might not know them, if you know some of the laws and how they fiddle around the words and trying to make them sound bad, especially if you're on the bad end of the stick. This here can be interpreted that he's actually holding the solution for the PS3 problem hostage for them to implementing the OS. The other OS again, and making homebrew possible on the system, legitimately homebrews as all. In that way, meaning putting own homemade software on it, which is not pirated, and if he is. And if somebody in court says that and turns the words around in his mouth, he says he's quoted on this, he's probably going to go to jail, and I think he is going to go to jail for this. I don't think this here is going to go under the same law as homebrewing or jailbreaking a phone. This here is a console, and all the things that he talked about is making more and more him sound like he really did it on purpose. That he hacked the system, and through this here holding the solution to actually helping Sony fix this problem here. We're probably gonna take them some time to figure out this here. This solution also, but it's just like it makes him sound bad, and for all this, no matter if he wins or loses, this is going to hurt the industry, especially from Sony's perspective and anybody's perspective, and all hacks do this because if we see on the web, torrents on PS3 games have been increasing a lot, because it's this key here has made it possible to play pretty much anything. I've already seen Killzone 3, which comes out this Friday in Europe. I've seen Bulletstorm, which comes out in the US tomorrow and comes out Friday in Europe, already on torrent. And more games come out, and that means somebody in any stop, not saying it could be GameStop, it could be anybody, could Kmart, whatever, gets a copy, takes it home, copies it over to a hard drive, torrents it up, and there you have it. This is a loss for anybody who does that. And I'm not saying that everybody who torrents it is not going to buy it, but pretty much I would say that if this keeps on, I think we're going to see in the future. I'm not going to say it's going to happen now. I'm going to say we're already seeing the price increase because of games are so more expensive to make right now. Just look at LA Noire, how much money they're spending on that. Red Dead Redemption probably costs a ton of money also, and PRing all that. We're gonna see that, and we all know that they are trying with collector's editions, adding stuff value up to $150, and they probably spent like $10 making all that. Getting a bag, getting a stupid statue probably cost them more than a nickel to make. And some of us buy it because we want it. I'm a huge collector's edition fan. I like the collector's edition. I don't think about that they probably spent like $2 to make all this, print the disc and all that, and I'm paying $150. Actually paying twice the amount that a game costs. That means that I pay actually for one torrented copy that's out there. And I think we're going to see that in the future. And that's what pisses me off, seeing people doing stuff like this, not thinking of the consequences that's actually going to happen out there, because the system, it's not meant for, and I've followed a little bit of the comments on this here post on techspot.com, and I agree with some of them, that some people say, well, he's trying to make things more open and all that. Yeah, but again, some people also say that this here is not, the system is not meant for homebrewing, and people can say all they want that Linux is great and all that, and the other OS should never been moved, but the system's main properties is not running Linux. It was an add-in small feature, and we all know the PS3 is a game system, a media center system. The Blu-ray drive is there to watch movies, the DVD functionality is that Blu-ray is also to watch movies and all that, and it has game functionality through Blu-ray and all that. It even has 3D now. It can, Sony says, it pretty much does everything. And I don't see Linux in that anywhere, and they are not promoting it. They've never promoted it. It was something that came out just, I think it was the pre-E3 show before it launched. That they showed Linux, and you couldn't really do anything on the Linux system that was on there because of all the functionalities to the kernel, the GPU and all that. You couldn't program to it because it was locked. So why were it's just because you took something away of them. People are just rioting over a small thing, in my opinion. But I'm not going to judge people for saying that things should be open. I'm definitely hoping that we can see with, for instance, Sony saying that their PSP Suite is coming to Android. That's open. That's a huge amount of devices that it's going to support. And Android is an open source platform, so the system on the NGP is a little bit Android-like, and there's rumors are it's gonna have access to the Android marketplace. So I think Sony is probably the most open developer or hardware reseller and maker out there. They don't have any restrictions on games. It's pretty much meant it's up to the maker, the third party developer, to say this here game is going to be region locked. Sony's not going to force them to region lock it. That's why no PS3 game is region locked. And the only thing that is region locked on the system is pretty much DVDs and the Blu-ray drive for playing movies. But the funny thing is, most Blu-ray movies either come out in a locked version and a region-free version. So, this here is probably the hugest step that Sony made when they said that no game is going to be region locked. At least not from their side of the table. So, I don't see people saying so many bad things, but I think people are going with the flow. A couple of years ago, and it probably still is, people are just bashing Lucas for making a huge mistake of revamping the trilogy of Star Wars, making it to a six part, and even the original trilogy making the ending of the third movie, that means part 6. So it fits the 6-part trilogy, replacing the original character playing Darth Vader and all that, and putting Jar Jar Binks in and all that. I can understand that. I'm pissed too at that, but that doesn't mean that people should freak out about it and go and go on a lynch mob, and. What's done is done. You can't do anything about it. I think it's just the time that Sony is the big hitter now. People are gonna bash that until, well, maybe at the end of this cycle here of consoles. I don't know. Maybe until then, NGP comes out and it's a huge success and people will forget it. So I don't know, but I'm definitely saying that this here is gonna hurt more than it gains. But enough about that. Sony has, of course, updated the blog and updated the PSN. Let's check that out if I can get the list of the last one. This is last week's. The new one is not up yet. Coming out tomorrow. We all know that Killzone demo is out, and I played the Killzone demo. I played it in 3D because I have a 3D TV, and the great thing about that game is definitely great. It's especially in 3D, it's like watching Avatar playing a game, and Killzone is definitely a great game. I have a feeling it's gonna be a huge success, also on 3D, for those who have a 3D TV. And we all saw, I think it was Game Trailers that gave it a 9.4. So it's getting good scores. Bulletstorm is also out there. You can check that out. A demo out there. And we had a lot of great deals. And I think they're still running. Some special offers like Alien Breed, the Impact and the Assault chapters. Split Second got some sales on Soldair, Guilty Gear, Constructor, and James Bond, some classic PS1 classics. 100% price reduction on Assassin's Creed, and there's some pinball game. So that's pretty much it. Some PS3 full games came out. Dragon Slayer came out. Acceleration of Surgery X Edition, which I don't really know what it is. Modern Combat Domination came out. Test Yourself Psychologically is probably a mind game. Blockus, which I don't know what it is. Final Fantasy on the PSP came out. You can download that on the store. We're still missing Crisis Core, and I hope they're actually remaking that so it comes out for the NGP. I would really like to see that Crisis Core. I'm a huge fan of it. I have it for the old model with the disc, the 2000 model that I have. I'm hoping that it will get digital someday. Neo Geo Station on the PSP, Fatal Fury, which is of course a SNK fighting game, really great game, and some other small things, some add-ons, nothing that special. Demos, Killzone single player 3D, MotoGP 1011th. Those are out there. Definitely check out Killzone. It's a great game. And also, what I've got to say also, Bulletstorm, Dead Space 2, I got that. I haven't played it yet, but because Bulletstorm is released soon, you get a small. I don't think it's a gift card, but it's just a small reminder on that. You can actually see that in the unboxing that I had. That you get a small label with Bulletstorm coming out soon. I'm looking forward to that. I think that's going to be actually an interesting game. Kotaku, just for getting the first article that they have out, because that's the easy one to find, because the other ones are pretty much impossible to actually figure out are they good or bad or what they're about, because all the pictures are pretty much stupid they post as thumbnails. But anyways, PSP Buyer's Guide. Should you buy a PSP now? The answer is no, and I agree with them. You should not buy a PSP now, especially since the NGP has been already announced. And I give them also the credit for actually saying that 3DS is coming out soon. So if you want to save a little bit, save up some money, you can check out both these new things when they come out this year. Hopefully the NGP is coming out this Christmas, I think. We're probably going to see more later this year. Probably E3 is going to be the big release for pricing and release date. I'm thinking this year. I'm thinking holiday. This year. That's my bet. So I don't think you should buy one. I don't care what you say. I'm buying one. Which one should I get? Well, in my opinion, since the NGP is not gonna have what's it called, UMD drives. Forget that. Don't buy games on UMD. You can buy the 3000 model if you want that one, but don't buy any UMD. That's stupid, because you can transfer them over to the next edition. So my guess is buy a 3000 or a Go and get all the downloadable items. The Go has actually a couple of good bundles, and you get some free games with that. The PSP Go is probably the best bet in my opinion. You get some nice games with it. What good games are out there? Well, they say, which are the worst one? They say Resistance Retribution. I say wrong. Resistance Retribution is actually a great game. The problem is that it doesn't play like a third person shooter or a first person shooter like you want to, because it's got the controls as what's it called? Oh God, I can't remember. It's a PS1 game. It's on the PSN store. I can't remember it. You have your analog stick to move around, and to the other analog stick is not an analog stick. That's actually the 4 buttons that you move around with. So you hold square and to move to look left, and move circle to look right, up and down, triangle and X, and then the back trigger buttons to shoot and zoom. I know it's really gay, but it actually works pretty well. It's a better game than they say. Metal Gear is a 40-hour plus game. I haven't even played that yet. I'm really sorry about that. I'm a huge Metal Gear fan. I'm actually, the third one is probably, in my opinion, not the worst one in the series, and that's why I'm probably having a hard time picking up Metal Gear on PSP. Peace Walker, but it's a great game. I played the demo. It's definitely great. And of course we have Ghost of Sparta. We have Chains of Olympus. 2 great games. They play excellent on the console, on the handheld here. So check that out. But I still say wait for it. And there, are, of course, the third birthday is coming out soon, or it is actually out. The only bad thing about that's only going to be UMD. I say that's the sequel to Parasite Eve 2. Parasite Eve has two good games on the PS1, Parasite Eve 1 and 2, which I both have played and beaten. Great games, great horror games. Fighting games for Dissidia, Final Fantasy Dissidia 012 is coming out also soon, I think. If it's not out in Japan already, I can't remember. But yeah, it's definitely interesting. So I think you should wait. That's my advice for you. But you can go ahead and read this on Kotaku's main page as long as it's in the main page, or you can try to find it. But who knows if you can find it anyways. So let's go over to Joystick. That we can find stuff there. BioShock 2 PC DLC comes out before it's ready. That means we're probably going to see some lot of bugs here. Let's see. Okay, I'm quoting here. We got good news and bad news for folks who've long awaited the PC version of BioShock 2's downloadable content. The good news, according to a few users on the game's official forum, the Protector Trial expansion has was released on the Game of Windows Marketplace earlier this week for $5.75. The bad news, it doesn't work. Yeah, figure that. Well, shit happens. You can't expect anything to be. Fallout was a huge. Fallout 3 was a huge buggy experience. So, a lot of quests didn't work. So, yeah, go figure. Here's some new news. If you don't know what the King of Kong is, well, you're not an arcade gamer. King of Kong and a Fistful of Quarters is a documentary about Billy Mitchell and Steve Wiebe fighting out to be the best at Donkey Kong on the arcade. News are that Billy Mitchell opened a King of Kong arcade Orlando Airport. Looks like he actually put up Steve Wiebe's picture. They're probably in cahoots with each other. Why not make more money together? There are some pictures here, I think. Or maybe not. Oh, the link is broken. Oh, here it is. Oh, there's X King Arcade. There's a video, a YouTube video of it. Check that shit out. And Connect hacks, of course, are booming like hell. Connect is probably selling more on through this, all the hacks than anyone else. Bonus round, last bonus round here was actually that they say they really need to get a Connect marketplace out there on the Xbox so you can download all those small apps to fiddle around with it, because there are actually some great ones out there. Let's see here, anything all new. Oh, Fruit Ninja, if you haven't played that on the iPad or iPhone. 6 million has a hit. Incredible for a download title. I'm probably guessing they are rolling themselves in their living room with money, but yeah, great things. Let's see here. Shift 2, of course, is coming out soon. Shift 2 Unleashed. And I'm quoting here, EA says that Shift 2 Unleashed will be the first video game to feature the Pagani Hyundai... What? Oh, the Pagani Hyundai supercar, which I do not know what it is, but it looks like it's a special sports car. So that's interesting. If you care about that. Bluetooth headsets new available. Urban camouflage for the PS3. And yeah, forgot to tell you about this. Back to the Future Telltale game. I played the first episode. The second episode came out last week, actually last Tuesday. And great game. Definitely pick it up. If you are a Back to the Future fan and you like games also, pick this up. This here is playing Back to the Future Part 4. The cast is awesome. The only cast that sucks is Biff, and that's because of Tom Wilson is not in there, but it is a great script. They've done it. It feels really like watching and playing Back to the Future. So definitely check that out, and it's a great game, and it's cheap. Let's see here. Co-op option. Of course, in Bulletstorm, if you haven't checked out, there's a little bit of article here. Of course, we all announced, but I can't remember where I saw this article on not Kotaku, but Joystick also. It has been officially announced that a Mortal Kombat miniseries is going to be made. If you don't remember, there was a Mortal Kombat mini TV series that was shown on YouTube. It's official. It's going to be. I don't know how many parts it's going to be, but there is going to be one, and it looks awesome. Really excited about that. Telltale Games is added again. Tales of Monkey Island episode 2 to 5 is coming to the iPad in March. Of course, Little Big Planet 2 has a huge rate of success. It's a great game, and it's what's it called? You can pretty much invent anything, and it's innovative in any lengths of it can. It's probably going to be Game of the Year in innovation category. Has of course its first patch out, patch 101. There are some details on there, and Telltale has also announced that it's gonna do a new EIP, Jurassic Park, which I can't figure out how that's gonna be played, but that's coming. And there's a preview if you want to see it. I don't know if it's first. It's a point and click thing, that's for sure. So yeah, that's gonna be fun. I'm probably maybe gonna check out the trial. I'm probably not gonna get that. Jurassic Park is a great move, but game. Hell, it worked with Back to the Future. Why shouldn't it work here? So I don't think, maybe Steven Spielberg is involved. Who knows? Gran Turismo 5 also got a patch 6.1.06 remote racing enabled. So a lot of good things. Of course, the big thing is pretty much that the music games are pretty much dead. Activision has pretty much shut down all of it. Guitar Hero and all that, and I was thinking, why not sooner? It's ripping people off buying the same shit over and over again just because you put in a new peripheral. That's my opinion. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. I thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this. So check me out on thespeedgamers.com. Support the Speed Gamers, and check me out at fatui.dk. Check out my Twitter, twitter.com //fatui, and email me at letstalkgames@fatui.dk. And until next time, bye.